Can you hear us? How about now?
Nope.
How about now?
Mm-mm.
How about now? Can you hear us?
Yes, it's working, Jim Pollan said. Now you can hear us? Oh my gosh.
Should we start over?
Nope. We're just going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going.
Well, no one heard what we said.
No one heard what we said, so we're going to start
Welcome
over.
to Sketchy Live. Woo! How's it going?
Guys.
I'm Johnny Jalopy, hot rod artist and sometimes fabricator. And tonight we're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff. We plan to finish a piece that we started this week, but thanks to the weather, it's been all screwed up. With me, as always, my beautiful wife, ityB. We got glitching going on with the main camera now. How awesome is that?
We're fine. We're fine.
And
we're gonna make it work.
Can you hear us now?
I think I'm just gonna go over to the intro and then we're gonna be right back.
Okay, tell us if you can hear us when we get back.
We'll be right back.
Peace. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? We're hoping you can hear us. Real quick, if everybody could just let us know if you can hear us.
Thumbs up
or something that says you can hear us. Well, great. We'll move on. Until then, we're going to kind of be holding for a sec. Holding.
I think, yeah, everybody's saying they can hear well.
Well, that was before. Let's make sure. All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Handmade jewelry.
Jim,
yeah. She is from. She's from. That's from YouTube.
Yep.
So that's good.
Okay.
Anybody from Facebook can hear us? Okay.
I don't know. I'm not seeing
anybody watching us on the old Facebook.
There were. All right, we're gonna run with it.
Well, hey, I'm Johnny Jalopy, hot rod artist. With me, as always, my beautiful wife, ityB.
Hey guys.
Tonight, our plan is to finish a piece that I started last week. Poor Ethan, who's been waiting for this thing to get done. But I'd been wanting to do this live during the day, but we kept having storms and stuff, and our power kept popping in and out. So every time I get ready to go live, we lose power. So no storm tonight.
No,
just no sound. So I'm going to start
just
coloring
our normal
this
crappy equipment.
cool piece. But the idea was, hey, we're on the brink of Independence Day. How cool would it be to bring in the 4th of July, right? Mm-hmm. With the Johnny Jalopy red, white, and blue trucker hat.
Yes.
Dawning on the midst of drawing a cool piece of a Ford Mustang, an iconic pony car, muscle car of the day, a Ford product, American made, alongside of a really cool jet. And I believe it's I'm blanking out. Oh my God. It's not the Blue Angels. It's the other guys, the Thunderbirds. It's one of the older Thunderbirds planes that's been retired. But this guy, Ethan, is a big fan of aviation, and I think he might even be in the service.
F-18.
I don't think it's an F-18, but it is an older from the Thunderbirds squadron. So
okay.
He said, "Hey, how cool would it be if you could do these two things together? I'd love it."
And so, this was part of your June special.
Part of my June special.
He's wrapping up in July.
Well, Ethan paid a little bit more for the extra.
It's still June right now. You're finishing
for the
in the month.
Adding the plane in there, so it wasn't just the base price.
It's a June extra special.
You paid a smidgen more. So hey, we're gonna get after it. I've already done some shading. We've already laid some grays down.
Great.
And we saw some pencil behind there. I'm gonna erase that pencil out, and then we're gonna get to it. So, ityB,
let me tell you,
the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you who we've got on because this is going to date back to before the voice issues or the sound issues that we had. But we have Paul Marziani joining us.
I think Paul was first.
He was. He said he missed last week. He was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We'll allow it.
Yeah,
we'll allow.
We're glad you're
here. Diane Kinnery is joining us.
Oh, you got a little bit of a quaff.
We've got Cam McNulty joining us from Wyoming. We've got Rob Earl from Down Under.
That's in the He's hot as hell, I'm sure.
Probably. Well, no, I think
Actually-
he's cooler now.
Actually, what I saw, you probably thought you saw pictures of snow. It's spider season again.
Shut up.
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he's doing
I saw
it.
pictures.
Oh, that's crazy.
Blech.
Don't even. Ugh.
Yeah.
Lizzie Daughtry joining us. Welcome. We've got full custom Ian joining us.
What's
So I'm not sure if that's Ian or Jamie.
Well, we'll take it.
One or the other.
Either one
Still fantastic
still
to have
works.
you.
Still cool. We're glad
And they
you're here.
always tune in when we're having technical issues.
Always. You know what? I think it helps them because they sometimes are dealing with this is the nature of the
It's
beast.
everyone.
No matter what you do, no matter what equipment you buy, no matter how much you spend, how much less you spend, somehow, some way, something's gonna not work. And you're gonna look like a fool over here talking, and everybody's like, we can't hear you.
And we had a really good intro too.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then it just took the
Just
wind out of our sails.
It did take a second. So what I'm doing right now, just to throw out there, I'm testing color.
Oh, okay, I was going to say that does not look like the picture.
No, I'm testing. I'm testing my colors.
So you can see this is
How
this is part of your process.
Yep, how it lays down on this
Tan paper.
tan paper.
Your good old tan paper that you love so much.
Because then what you do sometimes when you do this little marker and then you hit it with a little bit of the alcohol pen, this will also kind of
change the color.
And it blends it.
Darken it, blends it, love it.
So I'm trying to see. Yeah, I think those 3 colors are going to do a good combo.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Nice. We've got George Makart joining us. We've got Michael Overby. Welcome
What's
to the
up,
broadcast.
Overby? Michael Overby.
Joe Lombardo joining us, our buddy from Jersey.
What's
Welcome.
up, Joe?
And Joe, we were up there
Yeah.
over Father's Day weekend, jonesing for some Delo's pizza. Didn't get it.
Here's what we did get. Not as good as Del Lorenzo's pizza.
We did get pizza though.
I got 1 slice and it was garbage. No,
That's
it was
okay.
It was okay.
It was all right. It's
In
okay.
case your family's watching.
It's okay.
It was great. I'm so appreciative of the
Of the free pizza that we partook in.
Oh no.
It was good.
That part will get pulled out and it'll be like, you know what John said?
Right.
Excommunicated. Yeah. Excommunicated.
We've got Jim Pollen joining us from Hobo's Hot Rod Garage in Horseheads, New York.
He shall
Welcome.
be shunned to the 4 corners.
We've got, I'm scrolling, Andy Yee.
What's
Welcome.
up? What's up? What's up?
We've got Gordon L. Made it. Welcome. He's
We're
tuning
glad
in
you're
from
here.
YouTube. We've got quite a few YouTube people on.
Tubers.
Loving it.
Love the tubes.
Loving it.
Love the
Chris
support of them
Smolinski
too.
joining us. Welcome.
This is gonna be a challenge.
Joe said ROG, Race of Gentlemen, Wildwood, October 4th through 5th.
Oh,
Well, Trog
you mean
probably.
Trog?
He just put ROG, but it's probably Trog.
Yeah, it is the yeah. I'm hoping. When is it?
October 4th. We just get back from. Oh, you know what? You don't have to check with anybody to see if you have time off. You could probably go.
Yeah.
We're just getting
I just
back
gotta check.
from.
I gotta check with old Mr. Bank.
And we did, just FYI for anyone wondering. Oops, I am already. Whoops.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I know. Sorry. I'm trying to do split screen. For anyone wondering, we did just book our tickets for the Missouri show, the Show Me Lowbrow art show out in Missouri. So we'll be doing that in October. Super excited about that.
Super excited.
We're definitely going. Our buddy Hicks is facilitating once again. We're so thankful.
Yeah, thank
Love you,
goodness.
Hicks. Otherwise, this probably wouldn't happen. But we appreciate
I
you.
wouldn't even really know where to stay.
I wouldn't even know where to go. No, we'd probably be with the pretzel people on the corner. That's where I'd probably.
Pretzel people.
The hot pretzels?
What?
You don't remember the hot pretzels in St. Louis?
What does that got to do with staying somewhere?
I'd want to be close to the pretzels.
Like,
And that's close to the venue.
I thought you were on a strict yoga.
That is
no
this
gluten.
week. That is this week. That is not October.
Oh, it doesn't count for then?
That is not October.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I'm glad you clarified.
We have got Katrina Bellis joining us.
What's up?
Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
And I was gonna say Johnny Jalopy Art. That's me.
Hey,
Bob Brandel, what's up, guys?
what's going on?
And he also says, nice hat. Yes, speaking of the hats. So we got the red, white, and blue hats last week.
Made them available.
We do still have some available.
Yes.
We made them available first to Sketchy Live viewers because you guys are
important to us.
Our important people, our faves, our peeps,
And
but
nobody
ordered.
Nobody took advantage.
Not a single person. So they are still available.
Yep.
They're not available to purchase on the website. We did not make them available on the website, but you will need to just go to our website, click on the link to email us at the bottom of the page. Send us an email if you'd like one. Limited supply. They're $25 with plus shipping, just like the rest of them. So we will invoice you for it. We're still using PayPal for those payments, but nice little red, white, and blue hats. Small run. We just wanted to see how they
like
went.
them.
Johnny was just excited to get one for himself. So we'd like to sell them. If we don't, he's just going to be wearing these hats for the next 15 years. So
as fast as I go through hats, I don't know if it'll be
that's
15
true.
years.
That's true. It's such a sharp looking hat though. I love the blue color on it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's really nice. So, and it's the same company that we've been using.
Yep.
Graphic Disorder. I think Tennessee, Kentucky. What did we say?
Yeah,
they're somewhere. Tennessee, I think. But they have been fantastic. We've used them for our hats for years, and they always put out a quality product. There are beanie people as well. Yep. Beanies are still available. I hate to even say this because we're in the middle of summer, but cold weather is coming upon some of you guys, so you may want to stock up on the beanies as well.
One of these days, the cold weather's going to hit you.
Lizzie said I was in the hospital over the weekend. I'll email you. Okay, yes, please let us know what's going on and how you're doing. She said to keep her in our prayers. We sure will. Sure. Joe said, makes sense, a Mustang and a Thunderbird.
Right.
Richard Hahn joining us. Hey, from Alpena. Are you guys coming to Michigan soon? We would love to come to Frankenmuth. I'm sure the offer would be available, but I just don't know if we can do it this year because we have a couple other things planned. But if not, we will definitely be there for Autorama as long as the offer still stands for us to share some space with our buddy Shaggy. So we're waiting for the invite, but hopefully we'll be back up there soon.
Yeah, we never assume.
We're always thankful. John Dyer tuning in. Hey, Johnny, any commentary on drawing my pieces, the yellow cougar?
Yeah, lots of commentary. It was fun, man. It was so much fun. Because it was such a stretch doing it the way I had done your first piece. And the cougar is such an interesting shape. The way that car is
was this a June yellow car or a May one?
It was a June. We did a May, and then we also did a June.
Oh,
but in the June one, it was really cool to do. It was a lot of fun.
You've been having fun with all of them.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I just really enjoyed it. So we appreciate you, John, for hitting us up and adding to the workload for my dear husband here.
Yeah, I wish there was a way I could have added, because in his original piece that we did for May, I added him basically kind of how he was in high school, because I guess the car he's had it since high school.
Wow.
So that's really cool. And of course his wife was, I don't think it was a prom queen, but it was a queen of something.
Oh,
so I wish there could have been a way I could have incorporated her in the drawing as well. But I was trying to, for time's sake and this style of the piece, was just trying to keep it simple.
Right.
So
sometimes less is more.
Sometimes less is more.
That's what I always.
You try to remind me of that.
I do try to remind you,
and I forget.
Robert Earl said, it's July here, ityB. Oh, yes, it is. You are a bit ahead. But so we'll, at the end of the broadcast tonight, Johnny's going to be rolling out the July special, which I inadvertently gave you a sneak peek of, but I think I removed it quick enough before any of you could really read it.
It's such an
ityB thing to do. Just always messing up.
I don't know why. Yeah.
I don't know why it's so hard for me. It's because I'm working on such a limited area.
Here we go.
Well, if I could make this area over here smaller to where I could see this bigger, then
you wouldn't be able to read the comments because you're blind.
I am blind, even though I'm wearing the glasses. But in any case, I digress.
You would be
Frank Pupello joining us. Welcome. He said Mondays are better with Sketchy Live.
You'd be saying, how can I make this side bigger and then this side larger, but this side also?
We've got Michael joining us. Welcome. Rob said, yes, Johnny, you're right. Spider season aplenty. Oh, God. How do you live there? I mean, I get it. We have stuff here. We have the alligators.
We got so many things here that'll kill you.
We just heard about these frogs now that could possibly be in our backyard that could kill our dog. Like, there are things here,
and those are not native to Florida either.
We had a snake on our deck when we were in Jersey.
I had a snake in my boot.
We've got Ian saying hi. Welcome.
What's
Ian,
up,
Ian or Jamie and/or Bob Frizz, Bob Shaboom.
What?
Hi guys, just got home from LA, California.
Yeah, oh, the service looks so nice.
Yeah, he was out there attending a
memorial
service for Gene Winfield.
Was this weekend, and we sure wish we could have been there.
I'm so thankful that he took all the photos.
Yeah,
though,
it looked like it was such a fantastic service, and there
Yeah.
were so many really great people there, and just
Thank you for sharing that.
Gene made such an impact on so many people.
A legend.
Yeah, he's and hopefully we'll continue to stay, in the culture, a living, well, not alive, but you know what I mean. His legacy, his legend lives
Sure
through so many people that he's touched. And boy, Gene liked to touch some ladies. No, just kidding. He's such a good guy.
He was.
I wish I would have got to know him better, and would have got to spend a heck of a lot more time with him, because he seemed like such an interesting gentleman. But I'm so grateful for the time that we did get to say hello.
It was a minute. It was a blip in time that I got to see him and say hi and meet him. But just the stories I've heard from people that were close to him, Bob shared some stuff, and it's just,
they've been friends for so long.
Yeah, for so long. Yep. So, and I know Bob isn't going to let the legend die, because he's working towards keeping it very much alive. So,
for sure. And then again, so many people that Gene has made impact on, I think, feel the same way, which is we're not going to let the legacy and the things that, and his attitude, look at how the age in which Gene lived to,
right,
and was still
so active
doing it.
Yeah,
he wasn't just sitting back and going, I'm an old man and it's time to hang up the tools and let these young guys get after it, and maybe I'll make an appearance here and there. And
no, but
he was still doing.
He did work towards teaching people. So
of course,
to ensure that people knew.
Yeah.
Once that day came that he was gone, that there would be people that knew, of what he did and how he did it. He probably didn't give away all the secrets, but
I don't know. It
maybe
was a thing that
I wish you would have gone. We were trying to get you out there one of those times.
I thought,
to go to one of his courses.
You can't be at every single thing, and there's where time is short. So the lesson learned from that is, sometimes it's worth just to say, I got to go do this, and heck with the outcomes. I'll deal with the outcomes, because this is something that needs to be done. But then there's other things it's just you got to be responsible for, and that's what I thought I was doing. Boy, did that backfire.
No.
Did that? Ooh, a little salt in the wound.
Hindsight 2020. Joe Lombardo said, call me anytime. I know we should have had you sneak in some real pizza. Dr. V-Dubs Creations, hope things are going great.
What up, man?
Things are going wonderful. Thanks for asking. Mike Hicks finally got to tune in. Missed you guys.
Hey, we missed
Same, sir. We were just talking about you, how thankful we are that you're helping to facilitate this trip to Missouri again for us. We're so excited. We did get our tickets and itinerary. Did you ever send that to him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have all the deets, and hopefully we will see you soon. We've got Terry Blackburn joining us. Welcome.
What's up?
Elizabeth, Handmade Jewelry and Crafts, Lizzie Daughtry, everyone that is coming in, please go hit the thumbs up and show them some love. She's so good. She's like the best cheerleader.
She's good.
We appreciate you. We've got Debbie Sedlak joining us. Welcome.
How are you?
Debbie and her husband Ron helped us out with our great stickers. We have some amazing stickers for sale over on the website. They do such a great job. So
quality.
Go check them out over at johnnyjalopy.com. Michael Overby said, I did tell Johnny that I wanted one. Oh, did you email? Did you get an email about a hat?
Oh, no.
Oh, Michael, please email us, because I need to invoice you.
Oh, yeah, no. It was holding off on time frame kind of thing. Yeah, we got you.
I guess he does have it. Okay, never mind. Lizzie said, Steven needs a new hat. Well, we have the red, white, and blue ones. If you
but not to be outsold by the OGs.
That's right. We do have the OGs that are again currently available. If If you guys order one tonight and I get you invoiced and it gets paid,
get you.
I will send this guy over to the post office tomorrow.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do.
We'll get him out.
So draw pictures.
Diane Kinnery's giving the thumbs up. David Iyer, hello from the high desert of Southern California.
What's
Welcome.
up in the high desert?
We appreciate you checking in.
Yeah.
Larry McCullum jumped over here from Facebook, was near 100 at WAAAM while working on our 1899 steam locomobile.
Oh, wow. Nice.
1899 steam.
That's too cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Steam it up.
We've got Brian and Lisa McCoy joining us.
I'm trying to
from Cajun country.
Trying to grab things.
What's up from the McCoys? Brian, hope you're doing well. I saw the McCoys had a visitor. Howard Pierpont was there not too long ago, making his rounds. Yeah. Very exciting. I'm sure you were all up to no good over there. We've got Steve Heinrichs up from the Lou, L-O-U. Is that Louisiana?
Or the bathroom.
Oh, no, is that how you spell it? I don't think that's how you spell it. I don't think that's how you spell it.
It's so funny that you were like, well, maybe.
Bob Randall said you didn't let me know about Daytona.
Yeah, sorry, man. So much stuff going on. I will get with you. Promise.
You're going to Daytona without me?
I don't know yet.
Oh, all right. Now he's planning trips without me.
Whatever.
Whatevs.
That's the reason I hadn't got back with him, because I haven't talked to you.
You haven't.
Oh, there you go.
We don't communicate at all.
Well,
anymore.
Maybe if you got off your phone for 10 minutes.
Oh, whatever. Jade Newbie.
Now you're trying to throw me under the bus.
Welcome, guys.
Listen, I got plenty of artillery.
He says, what's up, guys? Welcome. Cars tuned up. Hello, good evening.
What's
Welcome.
up?
Micah Doodles joining us. Hey, guys. Looking good, bro.
Up, Michael Doodles.
Micah Doodles, another fantastic artist. Love his digital stuff. And he's just doing logos and doing commission work.
Been
kicking butt. So we appreciate your support. And a fellow believer as well. Yeah. Larry McCullum said WAM is actually Western Antique Aeroplane and Automobile Museum.
Oh, wow.
And I was feeling stupid because I didn't know what that meant. Never known that. I would have never known. Thank you for clarifying. Hood River, Oregon, in the Columbia River Gorge east of Portland.
Okay. Oh,
nice.
We do like Portland.
We do. Well, he says it. We've never been there. We've only watched a TV show, but all right. I'm caught up on comments. I do want to get into some questions here that I have jotted down. Oh, Mike Hicks said Skip and I have birthdays in July, getting ready to start traveling. We're calling it the 70s tour. Oh, nice. Well, if you're traveling for your shows, probably. Yeah. I was going to say, if you make it down this way, hit us up. We've got a bed. You're just going to have to share. Okay. So while you're illustrating,
while you're in the bed, we'll sell you the edge. How's that go?
While you're illustrating, I'm going to ask some questions here about your hot rod illustration techniques. And we may have covered this last week when we did the podcast, because we were talking about kind of your creative process for things, but
maybe
what's the best way to start a hot rod sketch? And you had said that there are several different ways you do it.
The best way, well, you gotta find what your subject is, and then study the heck out of it and try to figure out which way you want to draw it that's going to best support the feeling of the piece that you're trying to do. So are you doing a 3/4 view? Do you have all, if you're doing a side view, do you have all that you need to see? Like, for instance, one of the ones I needed to do for July, the guy sent me all 3/4 views of the vehicle, and the way the engine compartment and the exhaust comes off the engine and how high it sat in the chassis and the way the chassis was looking. I'm like, I can't tell by the way the front tire is, and I don't want to guess.
Right.
What if I'm putting a Z'd frame and the guy goes, I didn't Z the frame, I arced the frame. Or, it's a custom built frame that was, bent a specific way, and and the steering column doesn't go by this. It comes out, so you want to find all the details. So you definitely want to get as many reference photos as possible, and then decide which way you're going to draw that.
Do you find that most people who are hitting you up for this work are people who have done custom stuff to the cars, or are you finding a lot of it as stock?
There's still plenty of stock stuff that's getting sent to me, or little additions, but that's the part where you're like, if there's little additions added, like one gentleman sent me the vehicle, and it's a picture of his car, and it was a great easy reference 3/4 shot, right? But as I looked further to try, because I was like, as I'm drawing, I'm like, well, you're going to see the tops of the seats and some of the rear seats, and I'm like, and I was looking at the photos. I'm like, there's no interior in this thing. Oh no.
Oh.
So then I was like, okay, it's still the stock color of this. It was a 60. I think it was a 67 Mercury Metro or Meteor. I think it was 67. Anyway, the color that it had. So I started looking for old photos to find out what the stock colors would have been inside the interior. Photos. So luckily I found a few of that color, and they all had these almost like this metallic-y blue interior. So I took a guess and then did like a blue-ish interior. And then of course I made windows, with my normal aged window color that I use. Technique.
Yes.
And it was able to kind of where you could kind of see a color, but at least it looked like there was an interior in it.
Right.
But that's the hard part. You're like, you don't want to get that wrong. You know what I mean? So that's challenging.
And I mean, I would imagine there are some people who, if they've done a customization, they kind of want that highlighted.
Right.
So,
well, actually, I have a gentleman that just sent me is getting in one of the last few to get into this June special. Sent me 5 different photos of the side view, which is fantastic. I was like, perfect. And all 5 of them have different wheel combos.
Oh.
And then I'm like, oh no,
which one?
So I messaged him this morning, hey, which wheel combo is the one that he's like, oh, it's the one with the big wheels. I'm like, okay, great. And then he sends me a picture of a blower and he goes, oh, but this is getting installed. Can you put this blower on it? I'm like, I can try to draw that blower.
You can do it. This is what you do. You're a visionary.
Yeah.
Matt Williams joining us. Good evening, Jalopy crew. We've got Spud Anderson hopped on to say hi, out running errands for our upcoming Mexico cruise to Cabo this weekend.
Fun.
Say hello to Sammy Hagar for us.
Yeah.
He said, we miss you guys. We miss you guys too.
Yeah, we do.
Glad to see you. I'm glad you're still cruising. Wish we could join you. We didn't get an invite or anything, but no, I'm just kidding. We wouldn't have been able to go. Just kidding. Okay.
Oh, I grabbed an orange Bible. Oh, no,
next question. How do you get proportions right when drawing cars? And I know you struggle with this sometimes.
Yeah, it is a struggle. For instance, I'm working on the C10 right now, and I've probably I took took the photo into Photoshop and tried to get it down to about an 8x10 configuration, So I know that at least it's 8 inches across, and the paper I'm using is 9. So I'm like, okay, give myself an inch.
Now this is hand drawn, because on the computer you can mess with it all day long.
Inch on each side. So then I start doing my measurements, using my pencils, references. Like, okay, from the top of the door to the top of the thing is this distance. And I do my little check mark lines, and I draw my little top of the cab. And I go, okay, from the back of the cab to the end of the truck bed is this far in the pencil. So then I put my little hashtag marks, and then I go, okay, from the front windshield to the front of the truck is this much. And then I, draw that in there. And then I look at the proportions compared to the picture, and I go, well, I'm way off. I don't know how that happened. So then I lengthen it a little bit, and then it was like still too short. And then I lengthen it a little bit, still too short. I got the cab distance right. And then I'm looking at it and I'm going, the truck bed looks too short. So then I extended it out, and I started looking visually correct, even though the measurements were all longer, but it visually looked better on the paper. And then I'm like, okay, but the back of the tailgate, or the last portion, the last quarter panel of the rear of the tail or the truck bed, no matter where I drew it, it just didn't look like it was low enough. So I spent
you sound frustrated.
Half an hour just in one quarter panel trying to draw it until I got it right. Like, there's even this Mustang. I was like, I mean, realistically, the Mustang is not as long as this Jet. And look, I got the proportions, but I purposely tried to cartoony the Jet to make it a little shorter.
Right.
So,
well, that's what we're telling.
So everything's kind of cartoonish, which is why, be honest, why I like to do cartooning proportions is because then there's no rules. I can do whatever I want as long as it looks like the car.
Is this Ethan's?
Yes.
Okay, he's on.
Hey,
675 Stripple. Hey, this is Ethan, just joining late, starting from the beginning. Well, we're coloring it in tonight. He didn't show the actual drawing of it. He had done that last week, but
I posted pictures.
He says it's an F-16, and he said, "Yes, I'm retired military."
There we go.
He's stoked. Very cool.
Okay, now we got all the breads,
all the deets,
all the breads in the baskets, and the baskets in the breads.
We've got Glenn Belfiore joining us. Just wave your magic wand on that blower, he said.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bell joining us. Hello. Welcome,
Hey,
sir.
what's up?
Our resident dad of the year.
See, and then even this on this jet, it's an aged jet, so I know it's red, but it's this paint and decals or I know it's not decals, it's painted on the plane, wouldn't be a perfect red, so I'm trying to make it look a little bit more aged.
Right. Micah said, I prefer cartooning over semi-realistic. I feel your pain, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Micah knows. Micah knows for sure. Well, then, here's the deal. Then you take, Ian can chime in, and then you take an actual real car that you're trying to do cartoony proportions to, and it's the same problem.
Yeah.
You'll build a car and you'll start doing the thing, and you look at the quarter panel and go, nope, too long.
Right.
Not, too short. I've watched him, holy cow, how many times in that, when he was doing the thing for every single time he's done something for Victor, where he has to make something out of nothing, and then it's like the quarter panel's too low, or he's trying to make the arch of the wheel and he's got to move it up, and then it's too high, and that's then it's like, why does that look weird? And then he brings it down lower, and that's too far, and that's all in metal. Imagine having to cut it off. At least I'm just erasing, thank goodness.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So you get the pen in there.
But it's the pain of it's the pain and joy of the creative process. It's still fun.
So the next question was, do you draw everything freehand or use guides? And so here you have it. So he is drawing it freehand. However, using the guides, by using your measurements, you use a reference photo. So you're looking at reference photos.
Definitely reference photos.
You're definitely not tracing this stuff. Now, I know some stuff you will trace if you bring it into Photoshop or you bring it into,
Here's what I gotta say. I'm so proud of myself because I've really never drawn airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I drew a helicopter once, and I love airplanes, jets and stuff.
Right.
I was so worried. Like, I'm looking at this photo, and if you look at, you can't see the reference photo that I have, but you can.
Yep.
Tell me how like there's, you can see the back wing swoops down, which is this portion here.
Yeah.
Can you see my finger? Get on me on the drawing.
Jeez.
Why are you on us? So there's this part that swoops down, but this portion down the side, which is this long wing, and I had to like go in and try to find this year a fighter jet and see it in motion and going up in the air to see exactly how's that wing shaped. But from this angle, when you look at it from this total side view, it looks like it's part of the side of the
looks like a body line,
the plane itself.
Yeah.
So I basically just put these lines on top just to make thickness. I don't know if that's what it really does or not. I'm hoping that's what it looks like. So
I think it looks great.
Yeah. So
I think it looks just like the photo.
My luck, somebody will go, in the 1947, in the 1970s, the full fighter capacity of this jet was not with that specific entitlement.
And if you can see in the overhead shot there, you're using the actual photo as a reference photo for your color now.
Yeah,
so
I can see, this is what I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I used as a reference.
Right.
Is because he sent me, he's like, hey, I want to do my Mustang with it. And he sent me a bunch of different fighter jets. And this one caught my eye just because of the coolness of the red, white, and blue.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Glenn said, dig the Toontown. My stuff is a bit too realistic. Yeah. And I guess, everybody has their own different style.
Their technique, that's
part of it.
There's guys that are just phenomenal at realism. And I just knew I'm not going to be great at it. Because to be honest, I'm sometimes a little lazy and to spend hours and hours geeking out over specifically.
No, but you're already spending quite a bit of time doing the research before you even put pen to paper. So
yeah. So I guess I'm not as lazy as I think.
You aren't. Look at you go. Look at you go.
Look at me.
I'm proud of you.
Wow.
Speed and Shine
Thanks,
TV. Mom. Loving the grabber blue Mustang. Got one of those. Our buddy Mike Sadler, Speed and Shine TV.
Oh, there it is.
What tools do you use to sketch your hot rods? So clearly on these hand drawn ones, you're starting off with a pencil sketch.
Yes, always with a pencil.
Okay, and then this particular one, you're using a combination of.
This is what I start with.
Colored pencil. Okay.
Is a
mechanical
good old Bic mechanical pencil, and and an
For our good
eraser.
friends at Bic.
Yeah, please
who are
be
not sponsoring us.
sponsored. I love your Bic mechanical pencils, and I also love the Bic crystals, blues and blacks. Those are my favorite pencils and our pens.
I used to use the Bic lighter.
I love them.
Bic lighter.
I love those things. And I like to draw with those too. But this is what I use.
Okay.
I've tried all kinds of different pencils, and I just couldn't find anything that would stay without having to constantly sharpen. And this lead in this is soft enough and forgiving enough to where if you're lightly drawing and gently, you can really it'll erase pretty well. So
good to know.
Yeah,
Bic for the win.
Bic,
and then you're going back in with, you've got a combination here of colored pencils. And what are you using for colored pencils?
Prismacolor.
Prisma. And then you've got some markers here. Is that
variety of Copics, Crayola crayon brand.
Okay, Crayola, nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, 7-year-old coloring right now.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. How do you make a car look like it's in motion? So I guess we'll see that eventually, because this clearly is in the air.
Yep.
So I would assume that there'll be some motion indicated here as we move forward with that. So we'll get to see that happen in real time. It's already 10:09 though. So we're already about 40 minutes in. What's the easiest way to draw flames on a hot rod? Now, you're not doing it on this particular one, but you've done flames.
Yeah, you draw them
so many different ways.
So again, there's your references. So find reference photos of flame jobs on cars, take a blank piece of paper, and just spend time drawing out flames. Now, those are horrible. So again, you go,
still,
that's not great.
It's a premise.
So it's, and then you go, okay, that's not great. And then you go, it's just practice.
Yeah.
But you're not going to know flame shapes unless you look at different people's.
You got to study
flame jobs, and there's so many varieties. If you go back and you look at the early flame jobs of most hot rods, they didn't look like flames at all. It was like this and a thing and a like a that and a this and a that, and that was a flame job.
Right.
Of early, you look at early 40s and 50s cars where they started trying to do a flame job. They weren't great,
right?
But it represented, and everybody knew, those are flames.
And you have done flames digitally that look like that same type of design, but then also flames that look more realistic with some technique that you use, one of the brush tools.
Yeah, I do have a specific brush tool I use to create
in the sketchable
exhaust. What exhaust would look like if it was fire coming out of an exhaust. And I've kind of used that technique as well on my cartoon stuff too.
Right.
Some of them I'll draw an actual like goofy cartoony flame thing, and others I don't. I'm trying to
make it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Robert Spear joining us. Welcome. He's bouncing between Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
How do you add shadows and highlights to make your drawing pop? And this is interesting because you do a lot of your shadow work prior to adding color.
Yep.
And you'll do the highlights after adding the color. Like we watched when you did the whites. Well, and you really haven't done highlights per se. There are some on the body of the car.
I've already kind of cheated and did a little bit on the Mustang itself. Yeah. So if you look, there's already highlights added.
Right.
Just because, and again, car's in motion, so it's not grabbing as much light.
See, and I wouldn't have even thought of that would be the case.
If it was still, in your eyes looking at something and still,
right?
There's lots of things hitting, but in motion,
maybe maybe you'll do a blurred line.
So if you wanted to see if I'm, to give the car motion now specifically, I'm not in the wheels yet, but if I was going to add some motion to the Mustang, I'd add a couple little, lines like this.
Mm-hmm. So that's really all it takes. I don't want to interrupt your process. It was just a question.
And again, still, you know, it's gonna be a little more challenging with the plane, which I really wish I could have done more of that with it because of where it's sitting on my drawing. I didn't think of that ahead of time, which I should have.
Well, we'll see what you do with it here. Matt Williams, I used to have trouble getting my proportions right when drawing the front of a car, so I resorted to the 3-dimensional boxes I would draw since I was a kid.
Yep.
Now I seldom use those boxes when starting out on a rendering. So yeah, that's
And that becomes muscle memory from your brain. Your brain starts to see the boxes ahead of time.
right.
And I did the same thing. George Trossi
Yeah.
or Trosley, the old cartoons magazine, Draw the Boxes. And it's still a great way to learn how to draw 3/4 views is using that box technique. But again, the fun part of cartooning cars is the box can be skewed in so many different ways that you know, and that's the fun of the drawing of the cartoons, is trying to find a way to skew it to still look like what it is, but yet put your own style of skew in it.
Right.
You know, so you can look at different artists. Everybody has a different kind of a skewing to the way they do their stuff.
Right. Robert Spear said, I'm digging the red, white, and blue Johnny hat. Might need to pick me up one. Yes, definitely. Head over to our website. They are not available on the website. You will have to click the link to email and email me, and I will invoice you and we will get it out. But they are still available. Limited supply. I think we only have maybe 12 left, I want to say.
Yeah.
So get them while we got them. Larry McCollum said, if you ever get to the PNW, come on by. We have 400 plus cars and airplanes from the early 1900s to the late 1900s, mostly civilian, but we do have a military section we play with.
Oh, nice.
That would be fantastic. And we actually have several other people up in that area that we'd love to visit with as well. So we may need to be making that trip here soon. Yeah. Mary Evans, the Evans. Hi, running late. Evans here. We appreciate you guys. Love you. Glenn said, darks recede visually and lights come forward. Yes. Larry said, if you get to the PNW, come to Wham. Over 400 planes and cars from the early to late 1900s. 99% of them run, and we fly and drive them.
Nice.
Give you some new material to play with.
Yes, that'd be fun.
That's awesome. So markers and pens that are best for outlining and detail. I know you, these white markers are your ride or dies for the highlights. And those are what brand?
The gel markers are, hold on, sorry.
He's in the zone, guys. This is what he does when he's in the zone.
The gel markers are, I'll have to look. Hold on.
Oh, that looks cool. Very cool. And even the way you did the blue on blue, because you had the blue in the plane versus the blue in the car. But I can totally see separation.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure they didn't, because they're almost the same colors, but I didn't want them to clash. And it's not specifically to the correct, because it's a much more navy blue on the plane.
It looks good though.
But I'm trying to, and this is actually more of a gold color on the cockpit. The question you asked me was the Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll
is the name of the brand.
Nice. So that's what he's using for highlights.
I use the number 10. I used to use a number 5, which is the smallest one. And now I've gotten confident enough to where I like the bigger, fatter size. Gives me way more control over the highlight itself. And makes a bigger dots, a nicer impact, I think.
Okay. What's the difference between sketching a car versus a monster hot rod combo? Well, I could tell you the difference. You get super excited when you're doing a monster. I think, I mean, if I could answer this for you, it's just more detail, and it usually has to be an open top car with a gear shift coming out. Like I haven't seen you draw a monster in a car without it coming out the top and without it holding a gear shift in its hand.
If I'm choosing my own, that's generally how I do it, because I struggle with the idea, and I know it's, when the car is an enclosed car, how do you make the monster coming out of it? Like it'd have to be
wouldn't look very monstrous.
It'd have to be ripping out of the top. And sometimes that looks weird. So I don't specifically will do them on the on a like a closed car, but I still try to find a way to do it. I like, I kind of did it with that Corvette. It's a T-top car.
Yeah.
So I
Still
had
an
the guy
opening.
coming out of it. So
Still an opening.
the fun part, it's, to be honest, it's a cartoon, so it really doesn't matter. So if you want to do it that way, do it that way.
Yeah. You do
You do what
enjoy
you wanna
doing the
do.
monsters. Our broadcast on Monday nights, 8 years ago, was it? 7 years ago. It was 2018 we started. 7 years ago started off as Monster Mondays. Every Monday you were doing a monster
Yep.
of some sort with a car. So go back and check out those fun ones. Those are blasts from the past. There's still the hidden episode where I walk through the frame in
Your
my underwear.
pantaloons.
We can't find it to remove it.
Why would I?
It's a hidden gem. It's horrible. Don't watch it.
It's great.
Oh my God. Rob Earl said, have you ever taken a sketch you've done, Johnny, and then thought or tried creating a painting of it in a larger scale?
No. Yes, no.
Well, I don't think in a larger scale. Well, yes, because some of his sketches are on Post-it notes and you have recreated those larger.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So that you can say, but nothing huge. Although, let's get into it. Fun fact of the week.
Yes.
Somebody got some toys. What'd you get?
I have acquired back in my arsenal a brand new compressor.
Yes,
quiet run compressor. It's so beautiful.
Love it.
And some new airbrushes.
Yes.
And
we've got the paints. And we've got the hoses, and we've got the needles.
We got it. We got the stuff.
I don't know why you have not already started. Are you just kind of freaking out about it?
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. We've got to figure out a comfortable space for him to do it, because
I also kind of, to be honest, if I could be honest with you, I was kind of hoping I wanted you to be there.
Really?
When I did my first one. So.
Oh.
If I'm being honest.
Oh, well, I would love to be there. Maybe we can do that Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So we're super excited to get this going, guys. We have been talking about this for years. Thank you to my father for a generous donation to the Johnny Jalopy Art Fund.
Such an amazing, supportive person.
He really is. And he facilitated
yes, he did.
This purchase and wants to see Johnny succeed. And, I think when we were up in New Jersey, you were just telling him about all your hopes and dreams with this business. And first of all, he is so proud of you for doing this and taking the plunge. Not for 1 second did he say, you're leaving my daughter to be the full-time worker, blah, blah, blah. He never had that view of it at all.
No.
He's been nothing but supportive because he believes in you and he sees your talent. He's still to this day on his refrigerator. Yeah. When we used to go up and visit my mom and dad when my mom was still alive, you many times, and this is if you know Johnny, he can get like this sometimes, where if there's a lot of stuff going on with people he doesn't know, he kind of backs away and he grabs a pencil and a pen and piece of paper and starts drawing, and he just immerses himself in that. And I think the early visits with my family, where you didn't really know anybody and they didn't really know you, and we were kind of telling stories and you felt a little left out, you would kind of just go in your little corner and you'd start drawing. Well, you drew these pictures for my parents. One of them was at the Seaside Boardwalk, where I'm from. And he's got that one, and then a couple other ones still hung up on the refrigerator from like 2009, maybe. Like it was like the year after we met. I don't know. It's so funny that they still have them up there. He just won't take it down.
It's awesome.
There's a whiteboard on the side of my dad's refrigerator with all of us writing little funny things and signing our name and putting the date, and that dates back to when they moved in the house too. It's just so funny that he keeps all that stuff. But Larry Martell said, go Johnny. Yes, we are going. We are doing this.
We's trying.
How do you draw chrome realistically with just pencils or markers? It amazes me that you do this.
I'm not the greatest at it compared to some people, but
is it the same technique that you're using by hand that you use digitally, do you think? Or
yeah.
Really? I remember looking at a book that you had because I remember you purchasing this book, or maybe you already had it early on in your drawing, and it showed blue and tan because it was a car at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And you would basically invert the colors, and that would be the reflection on the rims. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, it's the light is hitting, so the bottom of the wheel generally gets the sky colors. The bottom part of the rim
Right.
usually will get the blues and the grays and that. The top of the rim is usually reflection from the ground, so
Right.
it's grays or tans or greens, whatever that is. Sometimes just to play, because you're just trying to, again, it's all about making the eye see what it sees. A lot of times you're not even following that rules, because you're just trying to fool the eye to think it sees chrome.
Right.
So you'll use, chrome colors, so whites, blues, like right now, this is supposed to be silvery, and I'm adding some blue into it because I know most people are going, oh, but even silvery rims have bluish colors in them,
Mhm.
even though if you looked at a wheel, it doesn't.
Right.
But there's a little bit of the hue of but this is in motion, so that's why I'm like trying to figure out, do I just
Or is
do
it
that
more
kind of
blurred? Yeah.
and then we add some speed
Some small detail here and there.
speed coming off the wheel.
Timothy Punnell's joining us. Killer artwork, he says. Gordon wants to know what your plans are with the airbrushes and what kind did you purchase?
Ottawa's, Iwata's, I guess is what it's called. Iwata's.
I want to airbrush.
I want to t-shirt. T-shirt was where I started doing t-shirt design
back in the day.
But the great thing with airbrush, and especially the paints that are now readily available, is you can airbrush on just about everything. I've also acquired some enamel, so we can thin those down, spray through the same type of an airbrush. They're not gravity fed, they're siphon fed, but which is the best for t-shirt art. But you can do canvases, you can do boards, you can do all kinds of different stuff.
And we have a slew of all of those.
Yeah, we got plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to do anything. Glenn said, Iwata's rule. I have 4 of them.
Yeah, they're great. I have a couple of I think they're Badgers that are gravity fed units that was right when I was just getting out of it. I was starting to do automotive stuff. So I had bought some specifically airbrushes that do automotive type, like on gas tanks and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be some products coming out. Pretty much anything that he's going to be able to airbrush on. If we see it, we're going to grab it, and he's going to do it, and we're going to sell it. So look for that, because those are going to be one-off pieces, I think. Not sure if we're going to be adding stuff.
Bummer that this color is really not. It's not popping like it really is in the on the paper, like in here.
Yeah,
it looks so good.
Well,
that's a little more.
It's our camera.
There it goes. It's catching it now.
You're a little further away too.
Oh, it's catching it.
Cool. Yeah, so a lot of the airbrush stuff, at least at first, until we kind of find a groove and see what products we want to put on the website, they're all going to be one-offs. So you're really going to want to make sure you're following Johnny Jalopy Art, because that's or Johnny Jalopy, or even on YouTube, because you'll probably post some of those videos of you doing it. But you'll want to check those, because I don't think we're going to have anything on the website unless we can maybe work with Hank and see if there's a way to like post deal of the week or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what we can do, but we definitely want to make sure that we're making this stuff available, because it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I got to get back. Got to get back in the groove of doing it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit of practice time. But
Glenn said, so you have the one with the little metal cups?
Yep.
Okay.
Both, and then
and side feed?
And then siphon feed.
Oh, he said side feed.
Bottom, no.
Okay.
It's tops, and then
he started with Badgers. He said, what kind of paint do you have in mind?
Createx is what I'm using.
Createx. Okay.
The t-shirt stuff.
He said, I used to spray Dr. P.H. Martin dyes at college. Okay. Lizzie said, Johnny, I need to get with you. I need to see if you can make me a t-shirt of my logo for my small business or not. Okay, for sure. Hit us up. Ethan says it looks great, cartoony. He likes it. Very cool. Colors are looking good here. We've got some popping of colors.
Sorry, I have to get away from the microphone. My angle I'm on.
No, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's fine.
Nice swallow.
Sorry. What are the best colors for classic hot rod themes? Best colors. I mean, you've done a lot of black cars.
Black cars are the hardest.
I know. And that's what you've said. Black and the white ones are hard too, you said.
Yeah, look at this plane.
It's probably easier to do when you're on a tan paper because it kind of stands out a little bit.
That's the reason I use tan paper.
Oh. Yeah, so probably black ones is probably one that's used a lot. But I think there's a lot of blue too. How do you make a sketch feel custom culture? I guess that depends on what the person wants, really, when you're doing custom stuff.
Yeah.
Timothy Pannell said, "Be better with a 67 fastback." All right, Lizzie, you take care. She's got to head out. We appreciate you. Glad you're feeling a little bit better. Glad you're home. Glenn said, Createx, I want to hear how you mix them up for good flow. Well, he will have to let you know because it's been a bit.
It's been a bit, and I know some things have changed since I used to do them, but I never had a problem shooting them straight out of the bottle.
Really?
I never had to do thinning down or any of that kind of stuff at all. I think sometimes, again, if you're doing t-shirt art, the biggest thing is you got to make sure you're shooting at the right pressure.
And that's all controlled by the new device we got?
Well, it's where you set your air compressor and then you set the pressure in what you want to spray at.
Oh, okay.
I think I was shooting at 60 psi is where I want to say, because you want good, almost like thinking of the terms you use in welding. You want good penetration into the fibers. The thing I have that I didn't have when I started airbrushing and was doing t-shirts long ago, I didn't have a heat press.
Yeah.
To preheat the t-shirts.
How were you doing them then?
I was doing with an iron.
Oh, that's right.
And then I bought it from Sears in a closeout. There was a Sears closing out, and they had in their sewing section, it was a thing that you would press pants with. So the platen was narrow and long.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine pressing a t-shirt
so
and
you had to do it in sections.
Yeah. But at least I could get it to the heat I needed. And I used that for a long time. And again, I wasn't doing them for t-shirts I guess I kind of was for a super long time. I was still learning and I was doing murals on people's bedrooms.
You were.
Stuff like that. This came out cool.
Rob Spears said, "Did I hear you say Thursday nights airbrushing with Johnny live shows?" No, we can't do Thursdays. We have Bible study here on Thursday nights. We will possibly delve into this Wednesday night because we do have fellowship tomorrow night. So that's going to be a night we already have planned. But he may decide to dabble in this before I get here.
I think this thing came out pretty darn cool.
It did. I really like it.
I'm going to probably set another little white highlight around the edge, but I think we're at a spot where I'm just going to at least sign it.
Yeah.
Again, Ethan, I hope you dig it, man. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity. I've been so fortunate that you allowed me to draw your vehicle and your dad's Mustang, and then you coming back and say, "Hey, Johnny, would you do a June special one for me too?" I'm over here writing June as I'm writing my last name.
Oh my God. It's not really your last name, but
yeah, it is legally. I legally changed it.
Oh, did you?
2 nights ago.
Well, we knocked out some cool drawing questions tonight, at least.
Yeah, so hopefully you dig this particular little spot. A lot of fun. That was fun. I think it came out great.
It did. It really came out cool.
Look at the fire in the back.
I know.
You ask questions of like, how do you do a realistic looking flames coming out the...
Yeah, Rob Spears said he loves the
You
flames.
lay down yellow, then you lay down some orange, and then you hit it with white, and then you throw some white gel pen in there.
And boom.
Boom. There you go. And then you get that nice little fire looking deal there. And then, got some nice highlights coming off the car. And
Gordon wants to know, are you planning to demonstrate how to do your airbrush work?
Yes,
I think once he gets in there and gets it done.
Yeah, I gotta. Johnny's got to get. That's the part I'm a little nervous. I bought all this stuff to get back to doing it. It's been so long. doing it that I'm a little nervous about
getting started
and oh my God, can I do it?
And you can because you were phenomenal at it. I think before.
Again, the thing that we talked about the most was, my drawing skills, my hand drawing skills. Yes. At the time I was doing airbrush was not great. I was still trying to learn how to draw cars and different things. So I had made what I kind of cheated the system. Every person that sent me, listen, maybe next time we'll pull up some pictures of some old Johnny Jalopy airbrush art. And I look at it now and go, wow. But I could see what I was really trying to emulate the style in which I saw people airbrushing t-shirts, the way they would do cars and skew the wheel and all this kind of stuff, which is not how I do my stuff.
Very much more cartoony than what you're doing now. Even though this is sketchy and this is cartoony that you're doing, it's not in the same style of cartoony that you were doing before.
But it was way, and then so I made myself these wheel templates. So every car I would draw
had the same
wheel style. It was the same arch of whether it was you had a truck or whether you had a 57 Chevy, the distance between the wheels was the same. So I had made myself a template. That's a beautiful thing about airbrush is you make templates. And I also have which I have tools now that I didn't have back when I airbrushed before at my disposal that I'm hoping are going to really help with some of the things I'd envisioned doing back then. And again, I thought I was getting pretty good at control and I was confident in airbrushing stuff. Lettering could sure use some help, but that's always been kind of an Achilles heel for me. I'm not a great person of lettering, but I've gotten better.
You have.
I think I've gotten better.
You have.
So
Robert Spear said, "Did you see the movie Mallrats? I want the first T-shirt you do that is a mess up." In the movie, he had a shirt that was $50 off because it was or 50% off probably because it was all messed up.
Well, my thought is what I might do with the first ones is I think we have some smalls and stuff, so I might do a lot of little kid sizes. And how cool would it be? You could take them and put them in frames, and then that'd be a piece. But so we'll see what happens. I'm excited to pull the trigger, literally, and do some stuff, and really excited about that. Hey, before we get away, let's make sure we get the July special.
Can I show it now?
Absolutely. I didn't think you couldn't before, but
there it is.
So here's the July special. It's May and July
mixed into one.
Let me remove
this background.
Yeah. So hey, so it's basically a Sketchy Live tune. Doesn't mean I'm doing it on Sketchy Live. It just means that style. A cartoony digital cartoony version, 3/4 view of your vehicle. That is it is a digital. I will write 1 of 1 on it, so it will be signed. I won't digitally sign it. I will physically sign it, and I will put 1 of 1. Mm-hmm. When we print it out onto a 17x11 heavy cardstock, it gets shipped to you. I also email you a JPEG of a high resolution JPEG of the artwork itself as well that you can take. And if you wanted to make 8x10s or whatever you wanted to do with it, you can do that as well. All for $200. So we're going to run that special. Steal. Normally, that's more than half off my regular price of what I charge to do renderings. And again, this is the whole purpose of these last few months is I'm taking work. This is the best opportunity in time. If you've got a vehicle you want drawn, you want me to do any work for you, this is the time to do it. Now, this is not
won't last.
No, they will not last because I need to really get back to charging what I would normally charge.
Right.
Because I'm not taking less time or efforts into it. I'm just making it more affordable for you to have your vehicle drawn. So and again, this is the beauty of what I loved about May. And then I did the June. Some May people said, hey, well, can you draw it in that style? Well, maybe some of these June people will now ask me to draw it in there. And this is another way to get your car drawn in a different style by Johnny Jalopy. Mm-hmm. And I'll be taking them. I'm basically, again, I haven't said no to any of the jobs. So hit me up. I've got a calendar ready to go.
Ready to be booked. And we have
ready to roll.
And he loves referrals. So we've had a lot of people that have told their friends, hey, get in on this deal. The more busy we make this guy, the better. We do want to get some airbrush stuff out, so we are going to need a little bit of time for that.
Yeah. That's all going to become. But I just want to make sure that we made this available for July. So the July special is get your Sketchy tune done by Johnny Jalopy in my signature Sketchy style, 17 by 11, printed on cardstock. It will be signed 1 of 1, and it will be shipped to you. And you also get a copy in your email of the JPEG,
which is fantastic because
it as well.
Who does that? Like, you're sending them the file so they can go do what they want with it.
Yeah.
That's basically like the way you handle logo work. Really?
Well, it's not in the same files that you would take to do logo stuff, but there are places. Listen, there are places like a Staples would take a JPEG of something and go and put it on a mug or whatever you wanted to do, which is fine. And again, all I would ask if anybody was going to go do that kind of a thing, just please leave my name on it and my logo on it, so that at least people know who drew it. That's all I've ever asked of anybody who's ordered stuff from me or taken stuff and done other extra things. But I do logo, t-shirt work and logo work as well. It's a much different charge.
Right.
But I've done it. Somebody asked me the other day, can you send me some? I was like, well, I don't know if I really have anything. And then I sent a file.
We now have a portfolio.
A file of 50 different things I've done. I was like, oh my God, I've done like 50 different people I've done logo work or t-shirt work or shows that I've done stuff for, comedians I've worked for. I worked for Good Guys. I've done stuff for Reading truck beds. I've done all kinds of stuff. And then the beautiful thing is small local businesses that I've got to work with, Posies and Churn ice cream and Joe Cavalieri, Low Tide Customs, one of my first customers.
So cool. And he's still rocking that same
and still logo. Using the same logo I created for him way back, and has done some variations of it. But it's just exciting that people still are. And then of course being able to be affiliated with the different things that we've done for Full Custom Garage and different things like that. So it's been awesome. And so those type of jobs are available too. But this is specifically to have your vehicle tuned up by Johnny Jalopy for a really great price. So hit me up.
And you never know, there may be something going on Sketchy Live with your drawing. You never know. Look at Ethan had no idea this was happening tonight.
I hope he's cool with it. And again, I hope you dig how it came out.
Yeah, and it does look way better in person. I'm looking at it.
I got a few little touches I'm going to finish on to some stuff to tighten up some things, but I really like how it came out.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I'm really happy.
Let's show it one more time.
Yeah,
the final design there,
just a smidge.
Yeah, there it goes.
I think we captured some cool motion there.
We did. I say I meant you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And again, don't forget about the July special coming up. This is our 4th of July special. We still have the Johnny Jalopy hats available, the red, white, and blue.
Get your red, white, and blue Johnny Jalopy hat. Oh my God.
And the beanies.
Got plenty of the OGs available, and the beanies. And
stickers.
Hats, t-shirts.
Gazillion of them. I feel like there's over 20 t-shirts available on our website.
There's actually more than 20.
Yeah.
I think it's
23. Maybe.
No, more than that.
What?
Yeah.
We have a bunch, guys.
Well, there's quite a few. 30.
No, there is not.
No, there is.
No.
30. I think there's 30 total. 30 total. I have it in the thing.
It can't be.
Because I'm doing reorders, and
oh my God,
some are going to go out and some we're going to have some new ones and new designs that are waiting in the wings. I just got to pull the trigger.
Yeah. But it's all coming to fruition. It's all possible now because Johnny's able to dedicate the time to doing this full time. And we really want to make a go of this. We want him to be able to continue doing this. So your support of him in purchases from the website, in the okay, I'm gonna throw this out there because I think it's fantastic. When we've been invoicing for these specials, because this isn't something that we have available on the website, so I have to send a specific invoice. We now have a tip option available, and I will tell you, people have been so generous to tip.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm so appreciative.
We were thinking about it, and I think it was Hank that's like, well, yeah, you really need to activate that tip thing because I bet you people would give extra. But when you go to like Chipotle and you're getting your stuff, and then at the end you're using your credit card, and it's like, leave a tip. I'm like, but you just got paid your salary. I mean, we're tipping these people to do their job. tip your artists, man. Tip your artists. So we're so thankful for everybody who's given a little extra.
Yes, thank you so much
for the fund. It's all going back into the business. We're
Yep.
using these funds to get stuff, to facilitate shows that he wants to go to, travel, more supplies, more products. But we're so excited for the future of Johnny Jalopy Art for this second half of 2025 that we're in. So thank you to you, and so proud of you.
Thanks. I'm so proud of you for supporting me, because holy cow, anybody else would have been like, go get a job.
If you are also a fan of the Johnny Jalopy ityB combo,
yes.
we are in a competition right now.
Yes, we are.
We're in a competition right now for America's favorite couple. I signed us up for so we could win $20,000. So I can get new gutters.
Yeah.
We need gutters. Anyways, if you go to Johnny's page or my page, you'll see the link. So please go vote. And I think you're allowed to do it every single day, and it's for like 10 days or something.
I think you get one vote and that's it.
No, I think you can do it every day.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try it again tomorrow.
All right.
I'm just going to keep reposting it. I'm going to be relentless.
Let me know.
I want to win this
Let me know.
gutter project. Anyways, guys, we always appreciate your support of us as a couple, as our family, and also our business. So we thank you, and we will see you next Monday night. Not sure what we have planned yet. I'm sure Johnny will be cooking up something for us, and maybe we can line up somebody for the podcast next week, because there's still quite a few people we want to talk to. So have a good evening. We appreciate you guys hanging in there with us in the beginning of this thing with our audio, and we promise to maybe put some money into that, and let's get that squared away, so we don't have that as an issue anymore.
We do have great audio stuff. It's our damn
internet,
Firewire, Wi-Fi, or
Wi-Fi,
the Wi-Fi.
All right, guys, we love you, and we will talk to you next week. As
Have
always,
super week. Stay sketchy.
Bye.